Hey guys, Len here with the Potter's Pickers again. Wanted to make a video for you. Before I made a video about how to package vinyl for shipping. And I think that that's got a nice response. It has almost 400 views on it. So I thought I would share with you what I look for with vinyl. And there's some things to consider here. One thing is whether your buyer is a collector or whether they just want something to listen to. Those things are all going to have to do with how you list it. And the big thing with vinyl, you guys, is disclosure. I'm a vinyl collector myself now, so I kind of know, like me personally, I like a jacket and an inner sleeve that's going to protect the vinyl. If it's in rough shape, that doesn't matter too much to me. So but what I look for when I'm buying stuff is primarily the condition of the vinyl. What does it look like? Is it going to play? Now, this takes a little bit of experience here. So let me just give you an example of a record that somebody might pass up just because of the condition. Okay. So here's a U2 record that I picked up this weekend, and you can see here. Now, this is something, when you're selling a record like this, you have to use your description and disclose the condition carefully. What we have here, see this round circle? This is called ring wear, and it's front and back. And oftentimes you'll see, because of this, the corners get a little bit floppy and everything. So big thing here is to take good pictures and disclose it. Okay, if I put the link to my eBay store here, so you can look at how I photograph these. Okay, go in there, take a look at my photos. I do the same 6 to 10 photos for every record that I do. Okay, so some people might look at this and say, it's too rough. It's too rough. Here's the thing: U2 is a very popular band. Anytime I see U2, I buy it. I don't care what the record is. I don't care. I just buy it because I know people love U2. They're like the Beatles of our generation. They're huge. So I take this out, a little, careful, because I don't know what the vinyl looks like based on that. But here's a good sign. It's got a good inner sleeve, and the sides and the bottom aren't busted out of it. Sometimes people drop the record in and it busts out the bottom. And here's the other good thing I noticed about this record, okay? Here's the record and the entry, okay? There's two ways you can put this record away. You can put it in like this, where the slot is even, so you can just reach in and open it up, and that's a really nice, fast way. But here's the problem. You can pick up this record, and all of a sudden this can roll out and slam on the floor, okay? This record, it was up, okay? So you have to physically pull this out to get the vinyl out, which makes it much more secure for, basically much better chance that it's in good condition. So right now, yes, ring wear, the cover is rough, but it's stored and put away properly. And then I pull out the vinyl, and what do I see? It's pristine. There's no scuffs. There's no fingerprints. Ooh, I almost broke that streak. So, and here's what I'm looking for, you guys. You can't really see this here, okay? But there isn't even a surface scratch on here. Now, surface scratches are not a big deal at all, okay? They'll still play, but what you'll get is like a little click when it goes over those little surface scratches. Got to disclose it. If you can, take a picture of it. So just disclose. It has scuffs, it has scratches, it doesn't skip. So this record is in great shape in spite of what the a little drama in the house. In spite of what the dust cover looks like here. So I'm going to put it back the way I found it, with this up. Now, here's the other thing, you guys. Invest in poly sleeves, poly record sleeves. Just give your buyers confidence with the second they open the package that this record has been taken care of, that you care, you know, whether this is a collector or someone who is just buying for something good to listen to. You put this in this poly sleeve, and now it's protected from further damage. You understand? See, things can spill on here, whatever. So in spite of all its ring wear and everything, and by the way, ring wear comes from the record being laid flat and other records being piled on top of it. And then as you're going through them, you kind of lift them up, and that's where you get these like loosey-goosey corners from and everything. So record collectors know this. You must be aware of it too. But, you know, take a look, take good pictures, leave really good descriptions. But don't pass up records because the jacket is in really bad condition. The vinyl is really what's key. So let me see if I can find an example for you here of a record that I found in bad shape. I don't know if I've got one out here. Actually, I take that back. Let me show you this one, you guys. Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. Iron Maiden, hugely desirable. Why? Because of this artwork. Crazy Eddie, super desirable. Metal collectors look for this stuff. So this one has some fuzz on the top, likely from, you know, it being stored in a crate like this and people flipping through. And so fingernails and stuff like that catch on it. And that's what happens. There's some wrinkles and stuff on here, but no ring wear, which means it was stored properly standing on its bottom. Okay. So pull it out. What do we see? Oh, the inner sleeve is ripped, but it's got a replacement inner sleeve in there. In fact, it almost looks like this was ripped on purpose, so it could be stored in that way. So I got no concerns with a record like this, you guys. None whatsoever. One thing you might notice with records is must. A lot of times these crates are put into basements because the kids who collected them went off to college and mom and dad just threw them in the basement because they turned the kids' room into a sewing room or a workout room or something. So if you've dug through crates, you know that, you know, as they're slapping against each other, you get that musty smell up in there. These old Disney records, which I picked up for about 50 cents a piece at an estate sale, are in great condition, but they got a musty smell. So what I'll do is I'll just give these a really light spray with Lysol, because that's going to kill any bacteria that's on them if there's mold or something growing on them. And then when you store them, put dryer sheets, mothballs in there and stuff like that to help prevent any damage. So now what do I got here? See the record sticking out there a little bit? It doesn't affect the vinyl. The vinyl's still in great shape. I've inspected all these, listened to them. I just put them right in this poly sleeve, and we're just going to protect that. We're just going to protect that from any further damage. And again, instilling confidence in our buyers that we care. We care about what we're sending them. You know, you can buy 100 of those 2 mil, 3 mil, or 4 mil poly sheets, 100 of them for maybe $10 or $11. So they're very inexpensive, and I highly recommend you do it. What else am I looking for? Titles. Joni Mitchell, huge. Okay, iconic singer, iconic songwriter, and this record is in pristine condition. There's no ring wear. This is from, I want to say, like 1970 something, early 70s. Here it is in a plastic lined inner sleeve. And again, buy inner sleeves. I keep a stack of inner sleeves, just like I keep the poly liners, because sometimes you get a record that's just sitting in the cardboard and it's not going to scratch it to the point where it's going to skip or won't play or anything. But what we're doing here is we're just protecting the record from any further damage. The plastic lined ones are ideal. They're a little bit more expensive, but they really help protect the vinyl itself. And let's see, when is Joni Mitchell here? How come I don't see dates on this? I could Google it, but I'm not gonna. So, and here's the thing, you guys. Genre, I look for anything. Anything. I mean, yeah, there's some no-brainers. Johnny Cash, no-brainer. Iron Maiden, no-brainer. Stuff like that. It's out there. A lot of times the more popular titles are going to be in pretty rough condition because they're listened to, okay? But that's a good thing because chances are the vinyl itself is in good shape, even if you have a really, really rough, really rough outer sleeve. The big thing, you guys, again, and I can't stress it enough, is disclosure. Use your descriptions and take really good pictures. I'll even take, where'd I put it? I have this red paintbrush, and let's say that there's a big scuff here. I'll take a picture and I'll point it out. So what I do when I write a description, I'm almost writing it in such a way that it might discourage or dissuade somebody from actually buying it. Okay, which sounds strange, but you want to be brutally honest about your product. Don't oversell it. If anything, undersell it. I'll put it in the disclosures. Like, for example, let me show you the Iron Maiden. This Iron Maiden record, it plays just fine, but it's scuffed. It's got some scuffs. It's got some rough spots on it. So I don't know how much of this you can really see, but I'll just kind of point them out here. Here's a pretty substantial little scuff right there, and some surface scratches. And furthermore, look, someone took with a magic marker and wrote an X over the stickers. That kind of annoys me a little bit, but that doesn't affect the playability. Here's another, I don't know if you can catch that. Another good scuff on here. But look, I listen to these. If you don't have a turntable, go buy one so that you can test your records out. And you'll probably end up like me and falling in love with records. Part of the reason I buy records, not just to resell them, I want to listen to them. Sometimes, like this Iron Maiden record, I've listened to it a few times already. So I'm listening to these things, and I'm being careful. I mean, this is also my inventory. So, but I think one of the keys to being successful on eBay is selling what you love. I love vinyl. And I it's kind of a recent thing because I not accidentally, I mean, I bought it at an auction, so it's not like I accidentally got it, but I bought it because it was a really dirt cheap price and no one was bidding on it. And there were some great titles in there. And I was like, oh, I remember this. And I started listening to it. And I never really understood why people love vinyl until I started listening to it. And you can really hear the difference in the sound quality between digital and vinyl music. So pick yourself up some vinyl. Here's a really good one. Tracy Chapman, self-titled, amazing. So pick yourself up some vinyl. Go get it. Go buy it. It's great. It's fun. You'll have fun listening to it. You'll have fun crate digging it. It stores really easily. I've got about 250 titles now listed, and I got 600 more to list. I bought 600 jazz titles for $20 that I have to sort through all of them and list them, but it's worth the work. I mean, most of them are probably $10 records, but a lot of them, you know, there's going to be gold in them hills. I know there's going to be 30, 40, maybe $100 records in there because where are you going to get them? Where are you going to get them? There's only so much of this stuff out there. So go look for it. You know, I feel like we as eBayers are, you know, we're almost the curators of history. You know, we're preserving this stuff for collectors. You know, we're not hoarding it for ourselves, but we are curating this stuff that could very well end up in a dumpster from Goodwills, from estate sales and stuff like that. And we're taking care of this stuff so that the people who collect it can fulfill their collections. So we're just part of a supply chain, guys, and this is a lot of fun. It's a great way to make a little bit extra money, and I hope you give vinyl a shot because it is well worth it. It's well worth it. So there's no category I sell more in my store of the 25 categories that are in our store than vinyl. So that's it, guys. Leave a comment down below. like and subscribe, and please share this, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.